1. Sugar tits. There is a galaxy of crystals erupting from my chest, and there has been, since some adrenal release triggered the gun of my child body into new woman. How they grew as I turned adult and tall like cane in the fields. I wake in the morning in a valley of raw candy, and the morning sun refracts through my breasts, and they are a billion tiny prisms. Think how many stars are in the sky. Now, think how many grains of sugar are in a cup, in a deep cup. I spill flavor across the bedroom floor, but then holster myself into lace things that keep the sugar, the endless sugar, from spilling onto the kitchen counter, the bus floor, my desk in the office. What a terrible mess they would make. And I could hate them, but for the bounty they are, the infinity, the constantly changing, delicious, shining sand of them. I am a fountain of sweetness. How much would you like for your coffee? Just say when. Just say one lump. Just say one lump or two. Sweet cheeks. The first time I saw a hummingbird, it was this close to my face. A blur of wings and a needle hook beak. I think it was turquoise. Green, blue feathers all over it. A tiny thing. I didn't move. I stood stock still. I let it home nearer and nearer until it placed the invisible point of its beak against my cheek and began, from what I could tell, to drink. This was proof. You're so sweet, they always said. Sweet cheeks. Honeybee. So sweet that once these tiny sugar birds discovered the pockets of sucrose in my freckles, they came and they drank from the swell of my face every day. They gathered in the mornings and the evenings and kissed me with their tiny mouths and drank. They were sustained. I have a veritable harem of creatures that come to me by day, by night, and eat. Hummingbirds are much smaller than nature documentaries would have you believe, thumb-sized, give or take, but starving. Hearts beating almost 1,000 times a minute. Can you believe that? Those tiny hearts that can move so fast. They don't always make it past 3 years of age. Here's the thing about the Bay Area. The average blow-in stays 2 years. You're lucky if you make it to 3. Doesn't that sound and feel almost right? There's something in the breeze here that gets under people's skin after a while. You're either weird enough or tech enough to fit in, or you're not. There's not a whole lot of space for in between. Here's the thing about America. You guys have no real sugar in your food. You can organic, farm-to-table, locally sourced, and ethically produce as much food as you want, but somewhere down that line, you're faking a sweetness with corn syrup. I mean, it does the job, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right. It's rare that you come across something with a bag, made with a bag of crystallized sugar. Cane sugar, grew out of the earth, tall and fresh sugar. That's why people go so wild for Mexican food. Real sugar in glass bottles. I know you love that shit. Where I come from, the sugar is real. Your chocolate still tastes weird to me, even though I push it into my mouth competitively in volume. Your Coke still tastes chalky, even though I still nurse from it with addiction, with problems. My poor goddamn teeth. What am I going to do about them in the end? Every so often, though, you find a sweet thing in this town, on this coast, on this continent, that tastes right. It's glazed or it's honeyed, sugared up with something from the earth, something raw. The hummingbirds know. They told me. They whispered soft through their pin mouths as they fed from my faraway sugar, as they drank in my freckles, as they said, "Sad girl, go where the real sweetness is. We'll show you." And in a murmuration, they pointed and highlighted the people they'd seen who they knew to be sweet, the people they drank from, the people who, in this candy landscape, were raw and earthen and terrible and worth the cavities they would leave in you, the cavities they would carve out in you. I listened to the hum of the tiny birds, but here's the thing. They live for 2-ish years. We stay for 2-ish years. There's intersection. There's a ticking clock. How long can you hang on to the people who have that deep sweetness before the hand strikes 12 and the plane takes off and someone is in flight again and you just have to grit your candied teeth and say into somebody's shoulder, "See you later, buddy," and let them fly away and mean it